The time has come once again for the Rhino Removal Project with your flag-waving, gun-toting, God-fearing host, Cindy Page.
It is that time again. Welcome, everybody, to the Rhino Removal Project. I am your hostess with the mostest, Cindy Page, and I'm awfully close to you. Sorry about that. Let me back up a little bit. Sorry, you don't need to be totally that close. It's been a couple of days. I have lots and lots of news, and it's not real good news, folks. So what I want to do first is what we all are always supposed to do. Again, welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time. I am your host, Cindy Page, a hairdresser by day and a political commentator by other days. I like to give a little bit of news. I like to give a little bit of real news to folks that are still watching the fake news and, like Fox and things like that. But the first thing that I do is I pray, because, man, we need lots of prayers right now, folks. And if anybody could swoop in right now and save us, that would be a good time. So keeping the faith, and that's what today's God calling. Always give my girl a shout out on this book, my girl Rayanne. Check out my nails this week. These are my Hissin makeup. Kind of pretty. Weird. I don't know. I had a couple of them. Anyway, this one is really necessary for today because, like I said, I have a lot of news to tell you, and it's not good. I'm gonna throw it right out there. It's not good. So I'm gonna go pretty quickly into things and try not to do too many ums. But today is February the 22nd, and the title is "You Must Trust." Okay, and the Bible promise for today is, "He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust." And that is Psalm 91, verse 4. Oh, I hope you didn't hear that big boom. Anyway, let's go. You must trust me wholly. This lesson has to be learned. Okay, which is very true and very hard. You shall be helped. You shall be led, guided continually. The children of Israel would long before have entered the promised land. Only their doubts and fears continually drove them back into the wilderness. This is very fitting. Remember always, doubts delay. Okay? Are you trusting me or not? I have told you how to live, and you must do it, my children. I love you. Trust my tender love. It will never fail you, but you must learn not to fail it. Oh, if you could see what you would understand. If you could see what was going on, you'd understand. And that's the whole thing. We have to trust the plan. Whatever the plan is, we just have to trust that there is a plan. You have much to learning in turning out fear and being at peace. All your doubts arrest my work, which means it slows it down. You must not doubt. I died to save you from sin and doubt and worry. You must believe in me absolutely. Okay, and the little promise on the side says, you must trust me wholly. So with that being said, I'm just going to pray really fast over this news so that it's not too shocking to some of you, and know that everything is happening for a reason. Father, I come to you very, very heavy-hearted, The news that I'm getting ready to share is not good news, and it's causing me to have doubt, and it will probably cause our listeners to have doubt. However, I pray that the news is conveyed in the truthful way. I pray that people accept it, and I pray that people heed the call that we need to for action. We need action. And I'm not talking about fighting, I'm not talking about bloodshed. I'm talking about taking our country back. And we're going to need your help, Father. And in the name of Jesus, precious name, I pray all of these things. Amen. Okay. The Supreme Court, folks, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. The Supreme Court has voted no, not to hear the Pennsylvania case. And in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, and I'm allowed to talk about and say whatever I want to on my show. My opinion is they're going to find other reasons to not listen to Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and the other ones that are out there. Linwood's Georgia case, I think. So, what do we do now? Good question. I would like to give shout outs to Justice Thomas, Justice Alito, and Justice Gorsuch. I would like to give, and we only needed 4. We got 3. We only needed 4. And my only assumption is that money probably paid somebody enough to not want to listen to the case. Again, we have other cases out there, but I really doubt that they're going to be heard. However, if you think about it, Dominion Voting Systems is suing Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Mike Lindell, Linwood. He's suing all of these people for $1.3 billion. I don't know what the $1.3 billion is, but what they fail to realize is that you have to be able to provide discovery, and you have to be able to provide a defense for yourself when somebody's going against you and fighting you in court. Or you have to defend yourself, to fight to defend yourself in court. So, again, that's no on Pennsylvania. Probably no on the rest of them. I'm trying not to lose faith, but those other cases will probably come out on the Thursday, 25th. The 25th ruling, because they said they weren't going to rule on all of these until the 25th, but they did say they would probably rule on Pennsylvania on Monday, which they did. So, what does that say to you as a Trump supporter, as a conservative, as a Republican, as a voter who knows for a fact that there's voter fraud? And I'm waiting for the plan to take place. I still believe that the military is still in charge to a certain extent. I see all these things that are happening with Biden, 46. He has now, Iran came out and said that they're pretty sure that the sanctions against them will be lifted pretty soon. We just joined the Paris Climate Accord again. Let's see what else. The 25,000 migrants are being let in at the borders, and they've chosen the cities that they want them to go to. Haven't figured out if Ron DeSantis is. That might have been the call that he made to Joe Biden the other day, or Joe Biden made to him. But here's what I'm going to talk to you about next. The whole reason why we created wearetrump.net. Kim worked tirelessly. Kim Purnell worked tirelessly and did a fantastic job on making it so easy for you to just click a button and make your voice known. You can either call your senator and holler at them, leave them a nasty gram on their email. You can actually call and leave a voicemail message, I think, on some of their email messages or on their voicemail messages. But you need to get started at the state level, because the whole problem in overturning anything about this election is all of this should have started, or it should have never happened, because it should have never happened before the election in the first place. We should have never had mail-in voting. We should have never let the state legislatures allow these states to change the rules right before the game. You can't change the winner and make the winner of the game before you actually play the game. You got to play the game first. Then we choose the outcome is chosen by the work that is done by the candidates or by the teams. And you have a winner and you have a loser. And you cannot tell me, folks, you cannot tell me that with the love and just, I guess I was told that I was brainwashed and I was obsessed with Trump. And following politicians and thinking that they like you is like thinking that a stripper likes you too. I'm like, well, I could say the same thing about Biden. If you think that that guy gives two shits about you, you are sadly mistaken. Okay. He's already gotten rid of the America First Act from Trump. He has done, and I, my brother brings up a very good point. Trump did a lot of executive actions against Obama policies as soon as he came in. But what was he doing? He was trying to help the American people. What's wrong with that? I'm okay with you helping the American people. Why are we helping everybody else? We are hurting here. You've got people in Texas, which by the way, Chuck Schumer's making fun of, because how dare they think that there's no such thing as climate change. I hope they've learned their lesson. He was quoted saying that, y'all. Chuck Schumer says, the bottom line is, folks, and I'm quoting him. The bottom line is, folks, Texas did not think that there was anything like, hold on a second. I wrote it down over here. Texas thought it could go at it okay alone. They denied climate change. I hope they learned their lesson. That's nice of you to say, Chucky. That's really nice of you to say to the people that are freezing to death, that are bathing their children in steamer pots, because that's the only way that they're getting hot water, is they're actually putting big steamer pots that you would use for like a crab boil. They're putting their little kids in there so that they can take a bath. Yeah, I hope they learn their lesson. These are our politicians, folks. So what I'm saying is, Kim got this website going. She has all of the tools that you need to make your voices known. Everybody says, I need to get involved. I need to get involved. This is how you do it. Okay. She sent me something this morning. Let me refer to what she sent to me this morning. Hold on. I'm old, so I'm going to have to put these on so that I can see. All right. Are you aware of the currently pending House Bill H.R. 127, which I am, introduced on January 4th by Representatives Sheila Jackson, Democratic of Texas? Requires everyone owning a gun or guns to register to the following with the AFT. Okay. Or the ATF. I think it's ATF. Make, model, serial numbers, owner's identity, date acquired, where it's stored, identity of anyone who it's loaned to. I'm sorry. I got rid of all my guns because I actually believe, you guys, I believe that guns are dangerous, not the people behind them. I believe that the actual weapon is the problem. So I got rid of all of mine. I'm going to read on. All of the above information would be listed on a detailed federal firearm registration system to which the to which the public, all federal, state, and local law enforcement, all governments, and all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces has complete access to. Requires a gun owner license to possess a gun or guns and ammo. The licensee must be at least 21 and complete the following: criminal background check, psychological evaluation, complete 24-hour certified gun training course. And it goes on and on and on about large capacities. I could sit here and go on and on, folks. I mean, it literally, it's 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 one of those. Okay, it's one of those, and my podcast will be too long, and I'll lose a lot of you. However, this is where you get started. This is how you make your voice known. Everybody says, "What can I do to get involved?" This is how you get involved. Okay, go to wearetrump.net. Share that website with all of your conservative friends. We need to build communities, okay, like the the Tennessee Freedom Force. Tennessee Freedom Force is actually hundreds of people, okay, hundreds of people that are grouping together, that are holding Tennessee legislators accountable. We have got to stop these people for them thinking for all of us. They are a board of a few thinking for a state of many. Okay. So we need to get groups together like the Rhino Removal Project. I have my podcast. Get an army of people behind you. I used to go and flag wave. Can't do it so much anymore because of all of the people. You Democrats can't even win nicely. And again, yeah, we're drinking liberal tears. We're still drinking your liberal tears. And we learned how to act ridiculous. Actually, we're not acting ridiculous, but we're fighting for our rights because our voices were completely disenfranchised in this last election. And you will find out very soon. You will find out very soon. So we need to get, Tennessee Freedom Force, Rhino Removal Project. Go to wearetrump.net and ask us. We have a suggestion and a question and answer page. Let us know how you are getting involved in your community, how we can share it on our webpage, and you can get others involved, because together, that's how we win this fight, because we are in a fight for our lives, y'all. There's some crazy stuff that's just going on, okay? And we have to look at going forward until President Trump steps in and does something about what has happened. Again, they want, with all these, well, I'm going to get into Dominion here in a little bit. We're looking forward and not looking back. But again, if you saw Doug Billings talk with General Flynn, okay, and he asked at the end of his podcast or at the end of their show, he says, I guess I need to give that bottle of wine to my best friend because I promised him that I would give him this bottle of wine if President Trump didn't win. And General Flynn said, don't concede that bottle of wine just yet. Not just yet. So, what we need to do at that executive level, as well as like at the level of the state level, we have got to get rid of these Dominion voting machines. And if you are in Louisiana, my friends, my patriots, okay, my patriots in Louisiana, please write your legislatures and tell them that you do not want Dominion voting systems or even any other kind of computer voting system in your state. And it is within your power. You're going to vote these people out if they don't do something about it. Okay? We need to stop going to computer. Okay? Even though Florida was number one, I did see that Governor DeSantis came on the other day, and Florida basically handled our elections the best out of all 50 states, which doesn't surprise me because our governor kicks butt. He is a fantastic governor, and I cannot wait for him to run for president. I just want him to be, if President Trump has to wait until 2024, which I really hope he doesn't have to, because who knows what's going to happen between now and then. But I really hope that Ron DeSantis runs once they reinstate Trump on the 4th, or the 4th of March, or the first week of April. Those are my two target dates. And if you don't know those rabbit holes, I'll have to go down those separately in another podcast. So you have got to write your legislatures, whatever state you're in. I want you to tell them that you want no computer voting systems in your state. You don't want any kind of mail-in voting other than absentee ballots that you have to request from the federal government. You have to have a reason. Absentee ballots are for people that are either homebound, okay, they cannot leave their home, or they're not here to vote. They live in another state, or they live in a state and they're actually like the military. They get absentee ballots. This computer voting system is ridiculous. There's tons of proof out there that shows you that Dominion can be and has been hooked up to the internet, which helps with fraud. It enables fraud, which is why Juan Guaido and Hugo Chavez are fighting, okay, in Venezuela for power, because Hugo Chavez is not the dictator in charge anymore. Just like Biden's really not the dictator in charge. He's trying to be, but President Trump, he's actually the real one in charge. So we've got two shadow forms of government. And if you don't know that, then you haven't been watching me for a while. And you need to go back and watch me a little bit further back. All right, so here's some good news, okay? Here's some good news. Unfortunately, the tickets now are at 7,500 or 15,000, which are platinum and silver, no, golden, no, tickets to CPAC here in Orlando. And from what I understand, we are going to get a visit from the one and only POTUS himself, DJT, and this excites me greatly because I'm going to be able to hopefully watch through Right Side Broadcasting, their networks. They usually show up to stuff like that. I will say that it's going to be a madhouse over there, but it's going to be absolutely incredible because POTUS will be there. Guess who's not going to be there? That rhino, that traitor, that Benedict Arnold, Mike Pence. He declined to go to CPAC, which is a good thing, because I don't know. I don't know about you. I'm not going to miss him at all. At all. I'm not going to miss seeing him. I'm not going to miss hearing from him. I'm not going to miss the fact that he was the mole in the White House the whole time. He was the one the whole time. You mark my words. He was the one that wrote that op-ed and turned it into the New York Times and said, I'm the one that's within the White House and I can tell you what's going on. He wanted President Trump to be impeached. He wanted him to be impeached. He wanted him to be president. Unfortunately, the people behind him saw through that, and he still remained president. And like I said the other day, impeaching a president twice means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. To Democrats, it does. They think that he's shamed and all that other stuff. But that's, again, that's like John Ashton or even the Dream Team. Well, the Dream Team got him off. Okay. The Dream Team got OJ off. But and Jeff Ashton, Marcia Clark, she did a great job prosecuting him. Jeff Ashton did a great job prosecuting Casey Anthony. However, you didn't prove your case. Those folks are walking free. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if their lives are ruined. It doesn't matter that everybody is still continuing to go after Trump, President Trump, even though he's not really the president, right? Why don't you do some work for the American people? Silly politicians, you rhinos, you Democrats, you freaking liberals. You guys are not, you have spent the last 4 years trying to destroy a man, his family, his movement, and what 80 million Americans, and I can guarantee you this, there's more than 80 million. I've heard 89 million Americans from several different people. Of course, there is no proof that I can show that to you, because anytime anybody shows that stuff, everybody silences it. Everybody gets rid of it. They don't let you talk about that kind of stuff. Anytime somebody tries to share the truth, that's not it's not good. So back to Louisiana. I want you to call your state legislatures. Tell them that because Dominion voting machines are in the running for that. Okay? Dominion voting machines are in the running to be put into Louisiana. So you just have to pray that the money isn't big enough that it buys the legislators off and it puts that stuff in there. Because if that's the case, we are done. We're done. Our vote will never count again, because all they're going to do is they're going to send a signal up to a Leonardo satellite or something of the like, just like they did in 2020. And Donald Trump would be able to prove all of this if the Supreme Court would actually see the evidence. Everybody says everything's been thrown out of court. That's not true. No, it's not. It's not true at all. No. And as a matter of fact, Donald Trump, as I said in a prior podcast, Donald Trump has won 66% of the cases that have been out there. It's just, it hasn't been anything that would overturn the election results, unfortunately, because legislatures. So, the good thing is that Lindell, Giuliani, and all of them are being sued, right? They're being sued by Dominion. What happens when you get sued? You get to defend yourself, correct? Mike Lindell is ready to go. Has spent millions of his own money, millions of dollars of his own money, fighting for truth and justice, and fighting so hard for President Trump, fighting for us, the American people, so that our voice is not disenfranchised. He has all of the proof. If you haven't seen Absolute Proof by Mike Lindell, please, by God, go and watch that. Go and watch it before it's probably on Rumble. It's probably on Mike Lindell's. No, I think they actually came after his video on his website. Okay. Once again, folks, we're being censored. And from what I understand, Freedom Network is open. Freedom Network. So if you go to freedomfan.com or freedom.fan, something like that, there's a new network out there that's, it's like Facebook, but it's the opposite of the liberal narrative, the liberal agenda, the censoring, and there's also other platforms out there. Telegram is a great place to be if you're not there. Telegram is incredible. You can follow so many people and so much good news. And that's why my podcasts are becoming longer and longer, because I want to bring you so much information in such a small period of time, because there's so much happening back behind the scenes. There really is. And all you have to do is do your own research. And again, why in the world anybody would drink Coca-Cola? I think I'm going to end on this note. Drink Coca-Cola and eat McDonald's is beyond me, because I'm sorry, Coca-Cola, I can't be any less white than I am. And I'm not going to be. But I sure as hell can drink a lot less Coke. Kind of like zero Coke. Not Coke Zero. Zero Coke. I will not eat or drink. I will not consume your products ever again, because you're trying to teach people to be less white and that they need to be shamed for their whiteness. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, all you need to do is Google search less white Coca-Cola, and you'll find all kinds of information. You can fact check me, just like I say all the time. Whenever I do a podcast, fact check anything that I say and put it in the comments if I'm wrong, and leave me a lovely little post that'll tell me why I'm wrong. A little comment in that section, because I have a real problem with this, and I don't know why it's okay for folks like these guys. And then you've got McDonald's, who is telling their executives, the higher up executives are telling the little peons that if they don't hire enough black people, or if they don't hire enough minorities, or if they hire too many white people, if they hire too many white people, they themselves will be fired. Please tell me how that's not racist. Please tell me. Explain to me, folks. Somebody come on here in the comment section and tell me why that's okay. That is not okay. Because I can tell you that if I started a corporation and I told my people that do the hiring, hey, guess what? If you start hiring a lot of black people, I'm going to fire you. What in the world would happen to me? Riddle me that. Folks, it is time for us to stand up, because I got to be honest with you. This is my opinion and my opinion only, and I can be right or I could be wrong. And I hope I'm wrong, because I don't want a war. I don't want a war. I just want our country to be back to the way it was. I want us to be united like we were on 9/11, even though that was Bush Sr.'s fault, okay? And he did that to stop the banking system and to get that gold, the change of the financial system, and to get that gold in that tower. It's another rabbit hole that you can go down. Why is that okay? I'm not going to be shamed for being white, just like I'm not wearing a mask anymore. When you can tell me, and I've already told people this, when I walk into a store and I'm not wearing a mask, I've already decided what I'm going to say to someone. When they say something to me like, where's your mask? I'm going to say to them, just because you decided to give up your civil rights doesn't mean that I decided to give up mine. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to put a mask on for something that is 99% curable and survivable from. And it doesn't mean that I don't care about you or your grandparents or anything like that. Because Fauci said it's going to be gone by April, right? If you believe the science. And if you're wearing 2 masks, please take one off and slap yourself with it. Take them both off, but at least take one off and slap yourself with it. Because that's just... Stop letting people control how you live your life. It is not the government's responsibility. It's not a grocery store's responsibility. It's not any form of a retailer's responsibility to tell you to wear a mask. When you went into a doctor's office and you were sick, did you wear a mask? No. The guy washed his hands and he talked to you. He checked your throat. He took a stethoscope and you had to go, ah. Do we do that anymore? No. Because of science and the CDC recommendations that go by Fauci, who is pretty much 100% wrong pretty much 100% of the time. And he has flip-flopped how many times on how many masks. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, wear a mask. Stop giving up your freedoms. Start standing up for yourself. Start being bold like Trump was and is still. Although I got to tell you something, I'm a little bit ticked off at him if he didn't enact 13.848. But I'm not losing hope. I'm not giving up faith. I still have Trump scarves and Trump bandanas, and if you want to wear a mask, like that's just if I absolutely have to wear a mask, like when I go into the dispensary, because I'm a medical marijuana patient and I'm allowed to be, and I'm glad I am. And yes, I carry a gun. And yes, you can do both. And if you want to talk to me about that here in the state of Florida, I'll be more than happy to explain that to you on another podcast. But I got to tell you, folks, we have got to stop being quiet. We've got to stop staying in our house. We've got to stop believing the news media, and we've got to stop believing that all of these. I don't wear a mask unless I absolutely have to. And that's to go into a store and get my prescriptions, or I mean, like Walgreens. They make you walk in there because they're doing COVID stuff. Okay. I don't really walk in, but I don't go through their drive-through anymore either because it's such a long line, because people are so afraid. Stop being afraid. Start living your life. We have 5,000 cases here in this state. We have 26 million people that live here. We have over 600,000 people. We have 650,000 people, give or take, that live in Brevard County alone. Just in Brevard County. That's where the county that I live in. Very red here, too. You do drive down the street and see a Biden sticker, which makes me laugh. What doesn't make me laugh is that somebody actually took my Trump Punisher sticker off the back of my vehicle the other day. I either hope one of two things. It's on your car and you're enjoying it yourself because you thought it was so cool, or I hope you have explosive diarrhea in white shorts in public. And on that note, folks, I'm going to bid you adieu. I'm going to come back as much as I can to give you as much news as possible. My Wednesday will probably be my next Wednesday, the 24th in the morning. I'll probably come by with some more news. Share this far and wide. Again, this is my opinion. But a lot of my facts that I give you are just that. And I welcome you to fact check me. But I have very little faith in the Supreme Court that they're going to do anything with these cases, folks. So this is where, hopefully the plan that is in place takes place. Hopefully everybody that is involved, I pray a hedge of protection over each and every one of them. I still pray each and every day for President Trump and his family. For their protection, because let me tell you something, folks. If anybody's out to get anybody, it's the left trying to get President Trump. That is 100% the truth. So, with that, share this. Go to wearetrump.net and share that. Please share it on your Facebook page, on all forms of social media. I really, 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 we really need your help in spreading this message far and wide, because we are still the United States. And if we want to have a voice, we need to make ours heard. We can't just sit here and let all of this stuff happen to us and say, oh, well, I'm going to continue to go to work and do my things, because what are we going to do about it? There's stuff that you can do about it. Go to We Are Trump. Look at the top. Look at that little top header right there at the top. Yeah. Okay. You can click on your state. Okay. You can click on anything that has that you yourself can have any power over, with your voice being heard. Get up and do it like you work out in the morning, like it's a habit. Make it become a habit. Okay. Tell Marco Rubio, we don't want the Intelligence Improvement Act to be passed. Okay. That's not something that is for the American people. That's something for him. Okay. That's something that he's voting for. These politicians need to start working for us, just like President Trump did. Okay. Because remember, the best is yet to come, because promises made, promises kept. I'll see you next time, folks. Take care. Thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. Again, share. Take care. Cheers.